Guys, there's some breaking news. We just had a press conference from AI and crypto czar David Sacks, who works directly to the White House, and they just did a press conference talking about the future of crypto and the Bitcoin reserve. So here are the most important takeaways, and some of it is going to absolutely shock you because this, guys, this incredibly shocked me. Look, we now have an official email address actually for the SEC where it's designated for crypto alone. So if you email crypto@sec.gov, you will technically reach out to the crypto task force chairman, Hester Pierce. So that is like a mind-blowing shift away from what was happening with Gary Gensler. And that to me was mind-blowing, right? And before we get into the takeaways, also the SEC launched their crypto task force website. So there is an actual group of people in the SEC that are only focused on crypto and pro-crypto regulation. And guys, like this is just so and completely different to how we were a year ago with Biden vetoing the Fit 21 bill and the negative stance against cryptocurrencies. And look, I know Bitcoin is at 97 now, but things are gonna get so much better. Try and stack as much Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as possible. I know the market doesn't look amazing now, but trust me, we're gonna go so much higher. Literally, like it's unimaginable that a presidential administration is like this bullish on crypto. So let's read some of the things that David Sacks mentioned, and I think you will really get the gist. So these are the clear takeaways. First of all, crypto was a week one priority for the Trump administration. David Sacks mentioned that crypto and Bitcoin was a clear week one priority for the Trump administration. Guys, this is the president of the United States of America. And his priority was crypto on the first week of his presidency. I cannot emphasize how incredible and important that is, but you just need to kind of grasp it for yourself. And then number two, the newly formed committee is advisory and educational, with Sacks hinting at opportunities for institutions to build on layer 2 solutions, likely Ethereum. So this was an interesting point. He was kind of talking about how blockchain is important and how Bitcoin is some sort of a currency, but the underlying blockchain technology where people build applications is what is really important. And because he said that they're an advisory committee, this kind of gives me the perspective with the Trumps buying Ethereum that they're probably going to try and offer institutions to build decentralized applications on Ethereum. That is kind of the hint that I'm getting, right? And if I'm right with my gut feeling, then Ethereum in this cycle will do tremendously well. Number three, the feasibility of Bitcoin reserves is under review. With a report due to Trump by June of this year, the progress they mentioned is going smoothly and it's probably going to continue to pick up. And by June, they should have a report to President Trump on why the United States of America should have their own Bitcoin reserve. Look, there is a bill currently in the Senate by Cynthia Lummis, right? The Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill. But if this doesn't get passed, right, because only 2% of bills ever make it through the Senate. If this bill doesn't get passed, we need some sort of a backup plan. And I think Trump is trying to build this backup plan. He's going to somehow put Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin as the US. And I think this is the way that he's going to do it. Because the final thing that was mentioned is that there are hints of a new US sovereign wealth fund acquiring Bitcoin, with Howard Lutnick playing a key role. So let me just untangle this a little bit, because if you didn't watch the Moon Show, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about. The US is officially going to have their own sovereign wealth fund. And I know it sounds unorthodox because usually democratic countries or democracies don't really have sovereign wealth funds. It's only countries with a monarchy or a sort of royal family, they tend to have sovereign wealth funds. But he just signed an executive order where the US will have their own one. And there's a lot of indication that, well, this fund is likely going to allocate a lot of money to Bitcoin, specifically because the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, who's Trump's buddy, and he is a massive, massive crypto bull, Kendra Fitzgerald, that may ring a bell. He is going to be heading this sovereign wealth fund, from what I understand. And if that is the case, then he is 100% putting money into Bitcoin. 100%. Like the US sovereign wealth fund. Can you just imagine that for a second? They do a sovereign wealth fund and the first asset they buy is Bitcoin. I think it's going to happen. He did a recent interview with Anthony Pompliano on his podcast. And some of the things he said is just remarkable. So I do believe that crypto and Bitcoin are going to be huge. The rest of the conference was super boring. We were going to stream it on the Moonshow channel, but I was like, I don't think it's the best idea, because they spoke a lot about just stable coin regulation and boring things. Like, they didn't really talk about certain cryptocurrencies, or Trump didn't show up like people expected. But unfortunately, altcoins are down like 5 to 3%. Trump is down 4%. So it wasn't a very bullish, as anticipated press conference, but I think the outcome is much bigger than what people are understanding at the moment. And by the way, Trump coin is down to $16. That's pretty crazy. It is almost at the same price as I first made a video about it. So I think a lot of retail is getting screwed. And look, yes, people are losing money, but it's also an opportunity for people that have more money, because this dip, oh my God, like with stuff that has happened today, I think is a remarkable opportunity. But guys, with that said, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, destroy the like button. And with that said, guys, have a wonderful evening. Take care, and I'll see you all very soon on the next video. Take care, and as always, bye-bye.